9 o'clock. Welcome to week 3 of the Notary Optimized website. We're now training. I'm feeling pretty excited about this. At the same time, I feel like I'm learning a foreign language. Definitely not my skill set. Anybody else having a similar experience with this?
Oh, yeah.
Couple of laughs, so I don't think I'm alone here. Good. So I know some of you are just listening, you're not talking. No, that's totally fine. Participate how you can. But maybe in the chat window with a number 1 or just a yes verbal. How many of you have done the homework, meaning that you at least watched Tyler's video on keyword research?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. You can put a 2. Awesome, Nancy. You can put a 2 if you have not, just to give me kind of an idea of what we're working with here. Thank you, Linda. Thank you for your honesty. Harold says some of it. Awesome. You know, I had to watch it a couple of times because, like I said, this is not just natural for me. And one thing I love about Tyler is he gives a ton of resources and value. So I had to go back and register for a few things. You know, I'm trying to listen in my car, but there's practical stuff to do. So I really appreciated what he did there. Anybody else find those kind of fascinating? That kind of technology exists and makes our lives so much easier? I'm like, why didn't I start this a long time ago? So for those reasons,
I didn't find it that much easier, Bill. I feel totally overwhelmed. I can't even find my Google website. I'm a mess.
Well, you know what, I love that you shared that, because there, you know, constantly I'm like, what did I just do? You know, especially when I'm one of those people that just likes to understand everything before I do anything. So this business has really helped me alter that, especially with this. So what I'm trusting in that is that what we're going to learn is going to help clarify the picture as we go. So we don't have to see like Martin Luther King said, we don't have to see the entire staircase to take the next step. So that's kind of what I'm trusting here. Because I'm still not even sure, I'm not even clear what we're going to do with all this research when we have it. And that's part of my control freakness. So I'm just going to let it go and trust the expert. And I've seen Tyler's results. I know what he can do and what he's done for me. So I'm just going with it. So the way that today's call I'd like to do is really focus on the list of keywords. And that's actually one thing that got me fired up. I love research anyway. So I think one of the traps that we have when we're in any industry, and especially in ours, is that we think with our knowledge and insight of what it is. We know what a notary public is. We know what we do, most, you know, hopefully. And we just assume that everybody else does. And the trap of that is that a lot of the general public doesn't know what a notary public does until they need one, or a loan signing agent for that matter. And the cool thing is too, and I hope that you guys are, you know, kind of rising in altitude with this too, and get that 30,000 foot view. This has more to do than just notary. You can apply this to all those little sub-services or other businesses that you might have going around. So we can, you know, if you want to do the wedding officiant, if you want to do the fingerprinting, if you're doing the legal shield, if you're doing the courier services or Uber, you know, what, not that you would market Uber, but whatever you want to market, we can kind of tie this all into this too, including legal document preparation. All of that stuff, we can use the same tools and research to build our businesses. So what we're going to do today is create like a master list of those keywords, because now we have 27 people on right now that can offer some perspective and show those words that we're not thinking about. Because what, you know, when I originally started, you know, those keywords that Tyler came up with on the video, notary public, notary services, notary near me, those are the obvious ones that came up. And then it's like, and what next? So you have to really kind of start getting creative in realizing what people are doing. So I want to create a master list that we can all reference. I'll share it with everybody, even outside of this video. So I'll send you a link to the Google Doc we're going to create. So you'll have access to that entire thing. You can write notes now if you want. If I was doing this on my own, I will tell you right now what I would do is more of a mind mapping thing with giant paper on the wall, or sketch paper, and just start writing out ideas. For time's sake and organization's sake, we're not going to be able to do that here today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to create a Google Doc spreadsheet, and that's how we're going to create this master list so we can do the exercises that are part of the homework. And then Tyler's going to pop on the call in about 25 minutes at about 9:30. So if you have some specific questions for Tyler, feel free to give them to me, and I've started a list for Tyler questions, or you can just ask him directly when he pops on. He'll pop on for about 10 or 15 minutes at 9:30, so we can still get anything that might be blocking us going. And then right after that, we're going to, we'll do some of the ranking that he did, or that he suggested. I'm going to be doing it with highlights in the spreadsheet, so it's all in one place. So we kind of have something actionable for the additional training that's coming up. The cool thing is you don't have to use the master list. You can use the master list just to create your own list, tweak it, scale it, whatever it is that you need for your business. The first thing I want to do, though, is for you guys individually, you're going to need to start thinking about the metropolitan areas around you. And that might be, let me just share this real quick. I apparently cannot multitask today. What's that video? All right, so what I'm doing, I'm just going into my Gmail account, and I'm going to go over here. I'm going to click this. I'm going to open up my drive. I'm going to click new, and I'm going to start a new Google Sheet. This is like Google's version of Excel. So it just brings up a sheet so we can stay nice and organized. I'm actually going to call this, well, since I'm going to share it with you guys, let's call it keyword research. See how creative I got? Keyword research for SEO. So here in the first box, what I'm going to suggest, well, and I'm no guru at this technology piece, but what we want to do is list out, let's call it cities of service, or possible location modifiers, as Tyler called it. So what I mean by that, oh geez, there we go, is like for me, for instance, I'm going to use myself as an example because I'm actually building the website up for my own local mobile notary, General Notary Work business. So even though I'm using kind of my city, guys, think in terms of your own local stuff. So I'm in the greater Phoenix area. So obviously I've got Phoenix, Glendale, Tempe, Scottsdale. These are all cities that at some point somebody, some customer, some potential customer might type into the search windows. So I really want to get an idea of my entire layout. Sometimes you might be in an area that's like a tri-city area or a tri-state area. So put all of those out, just do kind of a brain dump on that and get that all out here. It might be counties for you, you know, if it's a little more rural, or even like even in my city, Maricopa County might be something that somebody types in there, or Pinal County. Kind of think about it. If somebody in Pinal County was looking for a notary, they might not say Pinal County, but somebody who's in Maricopa that needs a Pinal County might say Pinal County, or vice versa, you know? So you just want to kind of think about all of that stuff and really, as Tyler says in the video, make an exhaustive list. Like, spend some time on this, guys. This is the stuff that's going to pay off. We are laying the foundation for building a optimized website that would last for years and years and years and still be productive. All right, so I'm just going to kind of stop there, though. This is one of those things I'll probably go back to quite a bit. And then since I've started that in that box, this one, box 2, I'm going to put bold. This is going to be my title box for the next phase of the homework. So I'm going to be speaking specifically to the homework video. If you did not watch the homework video, no worries, but watch it so you have a better idea of what we're doing here. So I'm going to, on my spreadsheet, I'm going to have the keyword. I'm going to have a box for keyword. I'm going to make that one a little longer. And then we're going to have the volume, or the number of searches that we see. And then we're going to have the CPC, or the charge per click average, that the Google and these other tools give us. And what we're going to do, this is going to give us a whole bank of data to use and analyze when we're going forward. So I want to add a caveat because I just thought of that. This is going to be very specific to the searches that I do, guys. So you're going to want to create your own. So use this only as an example on your own, because your volume and your CPC are going to depend on your location modifiers that you might be typing into your search windows. So the keyword section, totally usable anywhere you go, but the volume and the CPC is probably going to differ for you. All right. Now that we have our list created, let's go through and together create an awesome list, an exhaustive list of possible notary keywords. Now, let me bring up the chat window here so I can see it. Although I might not be able to see it while I'm sharing. So you might have to speak it out for me, or if somebody sees some keywords being typed in there, maybe speak them out for me as we do it. Let's just do the basic ones first, right? Notary Public. And you'll know from the training in your area, Tyler specifies that you're going to put Notary Public with your location modifier on it. Meaning, if you're in Denver, you type Denver. If you're in Duluth, you type Duluth, whatever it is in those areas. So right now, let's just be really general. So we got Notary Public, Mobile Notary, Notary, Notary Services. What else you got? And if you're typing it in the chat window, if somebody can read those to me, I'd really appreciate it.
A weekend notary.
Oh, weekend notary, nice.
Evening notary.
Evening notary, which ties right into that 24-hour notary.
Yeah.
Right?
How to notarize my.
Ah.
Notarize.
Notarize.
You got a bunch of adjectives. Dependable. Trustworthy.
Dependable.
Convenient.
Honest.
Honest is good. Convenient.
Well, let me add the notaries on here just so for clarity.
Yeah,
Hey, Bill, I saw some searches under public notary.
Oh, great.
Nice.
A word reversal that a lot of people do. Public notary. Excellent. I love that.
24 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. 24-hour. And, well, you know what?
Yeah, you've got hour.
One little change makes a huge difference.
Yeah. Professional.
Title services notary.
I'm sorry, say that again?
Title services notary.
Ah, title services notary.
Punctual.
Punctual.
I'm just reading the list. You have mobile. Yeah.
Excellent.
I think
How about traveling?
Yeah. I like this one. What is a notary public?
How about real estate notary?
There you go.
How about Phoenix Notary?
Yes, the location modifiers will come into the play in this as well, unless you mean like a rising phoenix.
Okay. Okay.
Ooh, that'd be a cool logo.
Good. I better jump on that.
Now we've got services coming. You want those? Power of attorney, estate planning. Loan documents notary.
There you go.
Ooh, here's a good one. Prison or jail notary.
There you go. I'm going to do both.
Mobile loan documents notary. It sounds like a loan for a mobile home.
Documents
Notary. Notary near me.
There you go. Good one.
Hospital
General
notary.
notary.
Say it again.
Go, Des.
General notary.
Say it again.
General notary.
Oh, there you go. General notary. Okay.
We've got hospital notary.
Hospital notary. Awesome.
I like this one. Notary for senior citizens.
That's huge.
Yeah. Convalescent center notary.
Oh my God. You gonna make me spell that?
C-O-N. That's as far as I can go.
There you go. Oh, convalescent home notary. Let's say that.
Oh, they wrote it under there. Convalescent. Yeah.
Just come. Okay, good. Perfect.
Ooh, immigration notary.
Oh, great one. How about divorce paper?
Child travel.
Child travel. Adoption papers.
Yeah. There's another list. Mortgage. Where'd it go? Mortgage, documents, trusts, wills. Mortgage closing notary.
Testament notary. Say wills.
Yeah.
What was the last one?
Mortgage closing notary.
Mortgage closing notary. Anybody else?
Parental consent. I'm just reading the list.
Oh, nice. Where are you finding your list?
I'm reading it off the chat.
Oh, thank you.
These aren't all mine. Did anyone say after hours?
Oh, nice one.
Ooh, somebody took the same class I did. Come to me notary.
Come to me, notary.
Notary signing agent, parentheses, NSA.
Like that. What other documents? We missing anything?
Do we have power of attorney? Yes.
Certified notary public.
Love it.
Automobile notary.
There you go.
Pension plan.
Pension plan notary.
Mm-hmm.
We also have deed notary or quit claim deed notary.
Employment verification.
Employment verification. There you go.
On demand.
Wow, nice.
Oh, I like this one. Emergency notary.
That's great.
Yeah.
See, I would have never come up with these on my own. Great job, guys.
Settlement.
There you go. Then
Nursing.
let's add the debt settlement on there too.
Okay. Nursing home notary.
Beautiful.
Mobile, we've got I-9.
Let's do I-9 notary. That's good. How about refinance notary?
There's structured settlements. I don't even know what that is. I
Yeah,
guess I do.
structured settlements.
Last will notary, will trust.
I got the wills and trusts up
Yeah.
there. For you.
Remote notary.
Ooh, nice.
Ooh, Harold's shortened it, POA.
POA. No.
Reverse mortgage.
Ah, good. I'm going to put attorney in fact here.
Warranty deed.
And Nancy, is that the beeping in your computer or in your background?
Yeah, that's my background. I'm going to mute.
I'm going to mute you real quick. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for your help. I really appreciate that. We'll wait till they grab the coffee. Warranty deed, notary.
About something like notary signing agent, that would be for more title companies that kind of know that terminology, but it sure would be nice if you picked up one of those.
I think we have that. Yeah, I've got that listed in there, but yes, you're absolutely right. It certainly can't hurt.
Yeah.
The interesting thing about escrow officers is they usually use directories or companies to find you,
Yes.
like signingagent.com or any of the 123 Notary, things like that. But still, I mean, why not develop your brand so if they happen to Google it, you come up?
That's what I'm kind of thinking.
Now, if you've got, say like I do, I've got 15 small cities in this little area. So I'm going to do that for each one of the cities, right?
Well, I don't want to answer that just yet because I don't know. Right now, that's why I wanted to break it out into the two sections. List all the cities that you want to rank for, meaning that you want people to find you for. And they might be skirting the edge or whatever. And then we'll create this list and then we'll let Tyler kind of direct us on how it's going to be put together a little later on.
That's the same question I have because that's the same situation I'm in.
Yeah, and I got the same thing too. Luckily, I'm a little on the crazy side, so I go everywhere. Oh,
I was looking at populations in the cities, in the 3 counties. I'm in a 3 tri-county area, and I was looking at populations in each of the cities and then trying to decide which one is more better.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, that's even dives a little bit deeper. And for keyword research, you'll probably want to pick the biggest city anyway, just so we can see what people are searching for, and then you can apply that even to the smaller cities too.
Yeah, but the reason I did the population is because I know what's coming up, or I have a good hunch of what's coming up of what we need to do. So if you have a huge list of cities, then you're going to want to, at the very least, prioritize them. So my thought was prioritize them by highest population.
Love it. Love it. Excellent. All right. What other words we got?
Conversely to that, Bill, if you do have small communities, there may not be many options in those small communities. So they may have to reach out to somebody that's further away.
Exactly. Yep. Very true. The cool thing about what we're doing is like everybody's going to need us at some point. We just want to increase oh my gosh, where'd that word go? By the screen drink is not helping me in my memory, but we want to increase the frequency of those times so we can build relationships and build it even more. So what other words we got?
Apostle. How do you say that?
Apostille.
Apostille.
I just learned that from Laura. It's a French word.
Affidavit.
Ooh, good one.
Somebody says put in zip codes, but that might be a whole different, that may be if they're typing the zip code.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. That'll probably tie into the location modifier, but I think we should ask Tyler that question.
Yeah.
Here's my questions for Tyler right now. And I guess it comes down to probably just whatever the customer would most likely use. And I think there are some locations where zip code means a lot more than it does in others. So it might just kind of depend. All right. Whoops, not that. This, not there.
What about best notary services?
Ooh, nice.
That is something consumers search, believe it or not.
Yeah, you know, that's probably a really good one. How come we're not thinking about that? All right, good job. Who else? Best notary service, the bestest notary service.
About Express Notary.
Express notary services. Oh, how about cheap, guys?
Yeesh.
I mean, not that cheap notary.
Oh, there's a beautiful one on the list here. Given most people's spelling ability, how about spelling it Notery?
I love that. Pet peeve, but I love it.
Bill, when you say cheap notary, do birds need notaries?
Did I spell it wrong? No. Hey, everybody needs us. Everybody, even the birds and the bees. Let me think.
Notary public at night.
Yeah, there we go.
Also on the other end, Notary public.
Oh, good one. Gosh, that's very common too.
Yeah, that's Lene. Go.
Notary
And-
Republic.
Swing shift.
Swing shift notary. I like it.
Yeah. Medical directive notary.
All right, beautiful. What else?
Medical documents notary.
Yep.
What about
And then-
notary questions?
What's that? Notary questions? Did I hear that?
That's what I heard.
Yeah, that's good. How about who is a notary?
Uh-huh. Advanced directive notary.
Advanced directive.
Living will.
I got that. Where maybe
There's jailhouse notary.
I like the jailhouse notary. I meant to add that on up there. Good.
What does a notary do?
I think we got that one up here.
That you may get more sub that people who are interested in becoming a notary.
Yeah, that's true. It might be a little bit of a mix. I've actually had somebody who called and said, my company says I need to have this notarized, but I don't know what that means. So you never know what you're going to get. And like I said, that's our biggest challenge and our biggest opportunity is how many people don't even know what it is that we do.
What about notary reviews?
Ooh, yeah. Yeah.
I see one here, notary come to your home.
That's so funny. That's what's going through my head right now. I'm like, there's got to be some, because some people just don't even know the right words to say. Notary to come to my home. Some other words for traveling, maybe, or mobile.
House call notary.
Drive up notary. House call notary. Love that. Love that for a name.
I don't know what this one means. All caps, HOLLA.
Holla. That's what that means. Yeah, I'm not sure. If that's an acronym, please let me know what it is.
She says that's it. What you just did.
She likes that house call notary name, maybe.
Oh, child custody, I think you've got.
No, I didn't do child custody.
Oh, okay.
Child custody notary. That's a great one. Okay, let's real quick before Tyler jumps on. How about some of the other add-on services that you might be doing, like fingerprinting?
Come in, I need her to sign in front of me, and I can notarize first. Okay. And the worst case is you have just that. Okay. I mean, Glenn.
Here's a Tyler question.
Yeah.
She was told by GoDaddy to avoid words like a, the, or to, in the keywords.
Oh. That makes sense. Cool.
Process serving.
Ooh, yeah, there we go. Process server.
Live scan. Mobile live scan.
Yeah. And I think a lot of these adjectives that we use up here could probably be applied to the fingerprinting. I'm also going to add wedding officiant because I know there's a lot moving into that. Wedding officiant, wedding minister. Any other little side gigs that would fit into this right now? We can modify that later. I think we have a really good list, almost 100, maybe 90 or so. All right, cool. Then what we're going to do, let's see. Tyler, are you on? He may not be on yet.
Okay, did we get notary services?
Yes, I think that was up one of the first.
Okay, sorry, I didn't see it. And then in the structured settlements and stuff, wasn't there a lot of discussion about actually debt resolution or something about whether that's a good thing for us to really be getting involved in?
Totally personal decision. So if it works for you guys individually, do it. If it doesn't, do not do it. But this, to the best of my knowledge, there's no legal or industry reason not to.
Gotcha. Okay. Oh, gateway notary. What the heck is that?
Oh, which one?
I'm sorry. I was just looking at. I've got a double screen, and I'm doing searching and looking for things.
Awesome.
I got that plugin installed, and.
All right. Well, until Tyler jumps on his 9:15 might have ran a little bit late. We will start doing kind of the second phase of the homework, which was to download the Keywords Everywhere app. And again, we kind of had to restructure the training a little bit because Tyler and his team are used to using the really awesome, paid tools and stuff. So we found some of the free tools that notaries like us could use on the fly to help us do this keyword research. So one of those is called Keywords Everywhere. It is a Chrome add-on. So when you download it, I'm sorry.
Also for Firefox.
Yep, I'm sorry, there is a Firefox add-on as well. So when you download it, they'll automatically send you an API key, which is just the key to show that you're a registered user. And it shows up right over here in the upper right-hand corner of your browser window with a big K. So what we can do then is just open up a tab. And then we're going to choose, let's just choose, I want to choose something that maybe he did not use in the, here we go. Let's do traveling notary. And we're going to type that in here. And what happens, the Keywords Everywhere app, this little languaging right over here, you see it right under the window, kind of squeezed in here? That tells you that we're supposed to type in Phoenix. So it gets a little more specific. It says 0 right now, but one thing Tyler did mention is that we don't have to necessarily, that's not necessarily accurate. It looked like there are about 1,600 overall searches for traveling notary, but it gives us just kind of an idea of what it was. And I like to scroll through and see the local searches here. Lots of other keywords listed off to the right over here. And check out how easy they make it for us. There's actually an export right into an Excel file. So you could see just kind of other things that people are searching for that you could add to your own list. Jail notary, 24-hour mobile notary Phoenix, all of those, and notary near me, of course. Notary definition. Look how big. That's a great opportunity that we have. So one thing that we're going to do is just kind of pop down here and we kind of get a feel for some of the other ones. So this is one that we did not have on our list that we probably want to add on there. Mobile notary services near me. So I'm going to add that to the list. There we go. What else we got in there? Anything else that looks interesting? Notary services we have, mobile notary we have, mobile notary jobs. We don't want to do that one. Arizona mobile notary fees. That's interesting. I'm going to put that on there too. I have to assume that anybody who's looking to find out the fees probably needs a notary. All right.
Bill, what about just NP?
NP for Notary Public?
Yeah, or NP services, or people that might abbreviate.
I'm going to, that's a great question. I'm going to ask Tyler that question.
Hey, Bill, just a heads up, I'm on.
Oh, hey.
I didn't want to ruin your flow. You're going so beautifully there.
Well, thanks. Thanks for popping on. I really appreciate it. I know you're super busy. But we did a great list. I don't know how much of it you got to see, but we got this amazing list of possible notary searches there, almost 90 keywords.
I saw that. That's great. You guys are doing a good job.
Yeah. And then, so we had a couple of questions. Do you have a minute to answer those?
Yeah, absolutely.
First thing, if you don't mind, before we actually go to the list of questions, is there anybody on the call right now that has a question other than these three that we've come up with that you'd like to ask Tyler?
I have a question.
All right, Lene.
Is there a such thing, I think we discussed this the other day, Bill, is there a such thing as too many keywords to where I'm overworking Google to be found?
Yes and no. So you want to stick towards the same theme, so to speak. You wouldn't want to do like Notary Public and ice cream shop. But if you're, that might be a bad example, but you want to stick towards the same theme.
Got me thinking.
So mobile notary, Notary Public, not necessarily too many keywords if they're in your industry, but if you can't really do too many keywords, but you can put one of too many keywords on your website. But when you're doing this research, it's really good to just kind of come up with all of the ideas that are specific to your industry and your business and just jot those down, because those can become blog posts. We don't want to just put a list of all of these phrases and keywords in order. And we probably won't use all of them on the homepage either. But you can't really have too many keywords, but you can have keywords that aren't relevant to your industry that wouldn't be helpful. Does that make sense, Lene?
It does. And I have another question to kind of going along with that. Now, I offer multiple services like notary, wedding officiant, live scan. And I only have one website. But I SEO each page depending on that service. So is that okay long as I'm SEOing each page with keywords, or is that still pulling it like it's one website, but it says notary and then fingerprinting? So that's almost going back to like what you said, notary and ice cream. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Is it all related to your notary services, Lene?
Well, not a wedding officiant or not a live scan is not notary, but they're all different pages on one website.
Okay.
Well, let me answer that real quick too, Tyler, because all of those things actually do fall under a notary umbrella. So there are thousands of notaries across the country that actually do those multiple services. It's pretty standard.
Okay. Then yeah, that's totally fine. What I would do is I'd put like a services drop down menu bar, and
I have that.
yeah, it would tell all your services, and that might be under one services page, or that might, if that's really a big business for you, that might be its own individual page as well. So yeah, that's completely fine. That's actually good to list all of the services related to your notary services on your website. So yeah, it's good.
Okay. Thank you.
And
Yeah,
then,
excellent. Yep.
Bill, on that list of questions, where you were talking about zip codes, can you include the conversation about population?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about that. So one of the questions, Tyler, that we had was, we did the list of cities. I kind of started with that might be in a person's given area, but the question was brought up, would people or customers use zip codes, or is it okay for us to use zip codes as part of the keywords?
Yeah, definitely. And we'll get into zip codes and neighborhoods and all that stuff on another call, but that's absolutely 100% good to do.
All right, awesome. And then the second part of that was for people who live in a big area where there's maybe 2 or 3 other metropolitan areas that they could choose to work in, should they base their decision on population of those?
Potentially, but really where they're located at. Like, where are they located at? So let's say you're in, like, right in Phoenix, right? A suburb of Phoenix. You probably want to stick in Phoenix. What are some other big areas around you, Bill? So we can.
Well, Glendale, Scottsdale, Tempe, Avondale.
Yeah, so with the local, remember with local SEO in the maps where we're trying to get listed at, that is affiliated with the address we'll be using in there. So we want to stick towards that. Now, as we go on, we can definitely optimize for other cities. If you don't have an address in that city, then focus first on ranking and optimizing in the city where you have the address. And we'll go into a few other ideas on another call, but I would start in the city where you have the address, because we really want to get that listed in the maps for this. So,
and the power of that down the road, just so people see, is you want to get your site optimized. Once it's optimized and you have like credence in Google, it's a lot easier to kind of spread out or build optimization in other areas rather than trying to spread yourself too thin in a bunch from the beginning. Is that kind of how that works?
Yeah, definitely. So you want to build a brand. So I would start by building the brand in a specific city, and then down the road you can have a locations page, and each of those location page would be a new location. So if you think of Best Buy, for instance, Best Buy's in a bunch of different locations, and they rank in those different locations. We would set up essentially a separate page per service. Best Buy might not be the best example, but if you think of different franchises, they would have franchise Denver, franchise Phoenix, and all of those would have like a different page on the website. And then we optimize for each individual page. So if you're going to be doing a multi-location, then we'll certainly get into that later. But to start, I would start with one location where you have your main address in.
For some people, that's their home. So for some people, that's a UPS box or whatever it is.
So you don't want, go ahead. Was someone saying something?
Go ahead, Tyler.
You don't want to use a P.O. box for your address.
I knew that.
Yeah, you don't want to use one. So I know with your notary services, like you're like, I don't really want my home address showing up on there. When you set up Google Maps, you can actually select, I do not do services here, and your address won't show up on Google. So I would use like a home address, I would use maybe one of those, what are they called? You had a webinar on it, Bill.
Yeah, the
Virtual offices, virtual mailboxes, but you really do have to be careful with that. The best thing to do is to use a real address where your business is located, whether that's an office or your home address. That's going to be the best thing to do if you want to get listed in the local maps. It's not as big of a deal. It's not really that big of a deal for the organic search in Google.
And then the biggest concern that people have with doing that is that people are going to see their address and knock on their door for business. But you're saying that Google Maps doesn't allow that if you check the right box.
Yeah, you just have to check a box that says, I do not do services here. I can't remember exactly what it says, but you can just check that box and your address will not show up on Google Maps.
Excellent.
Don't you have to have that corresponding address on your website?
You do. You do have to. That's a great question. You do want that corresponding address on your website. And again, we'll get into all of this. It's called your NAP, name, address, phone number. There's different things you can do. Remember, Google has to see the address. People don't necessarily have to see the address on your website. So for instance, if your font was the same color as your background, Google could still see that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Yeah. All kinds of workarounds for that, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Great questions, guys. All right. Then we had some feedback that said that we should avoid using words like a or the, etc. when using keywords. None of that matters. It's just the main words. Is that right?
Well, it depends what the keyword is. I mean, a and the, they're usually not going to be your keyword. But if you have a brand name called The Notary, and that's your keyword, then you would want the in there. Does that make sense? So if it is part of the keyword, you want it in there. Most of the times it won't be. And that was, yeah, so it depends on what your keyword is. If that's a big part of your keyword, then it should be in there. But I think what they might be talking about is when you're making your like title, you don't necessarily want a or the in your title, but that's a little different than the keywords stuff that we're talking about here.
Gotcha. All right, cool. And then the last question that was on the list was, what about planning for abbreviations? Like if people search for NP near me instead of Notary Public, is there any way to account for that or any suggestions on how to do it?
Yeah, I mean, if people are searching for it, you'll definitely want to optimize for it. So if people are actually searching for those phrases, then we would want to optimize for it.
So what I'm hearing is if we need to put that on our list so we can do the research on it.
Yeah, I would do the research before you put it on the list. But yeah, if people are typing NP, I don't know. Are they typing NP when they're looking for Notary Public?
It would surprise me, but nothing should surprise me anymore. So they might type NSA. I mean, those are real industry terms, and I've never been referred to as an NP, so I don't know for sure, but you never know. And there's so many other little side businesses in this. I'm just wondering if there's a strategy for abbreviation or not, but it sounds like we just have to kind of find out what people are searching.
Hey, Bill?
Yeah.
Won't that app, the Google Chrome app you just talked about, the keywords everywhere, that's what's going to tell us if they're looking for it?
Exactly. Well, and the thing is, NP seems so vague, though. Who knows what we're going to get? There might be other credentials or designations out there that bring up NP that have nothing to do with Notary Public. So it'll be interesting just to kind of poke around and figure it out.
Also, this is Ronnie. I'm sorry. I just have a question before we get too far.
Yeah.
Can you download the keyword plugin on your iPhone?
I don't believe so. I'm not 100% on that, Ronnie, but I don't believe so. They like to have it be an extension. I don't think they have an app for it per se. So I don't think so, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I haven't looked into that, but I don't think that they would do that.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
All right, Tyler, I know that you're crunched for time today, so thank you so much for popping in and answering those quick questions for us. We're very excited about this, if not a little overwhelmed as well. We're excited to see where we're going with this.
Yeah, it's awesome. Thanks, Bill. And yeah, look forward to the next few things. And I'll be around. I'll hang out for the next 10 minutes or whatever. So if any other questions come up.
So you'll be ready. All right, cool. So we're going to jump back into the graph and the work to see how we're going to rank and individualize. Now, Tyler, feel free to jump in if you have any suggestions on how to make this easier as I'm going through it. So we're going to, there we go. Jump back over here. All right, so we found a few additional keywords that we added to the list here. And now we want to basically go through the list. So I'm just going to use, because Phoenix is my greatest area, so I'm just going to type in, I did traveling notary Phoenix here. Did I add the content here or not? I didn't even add the information here. Okay, so the information we're looking for is right up here. This one doesn't seem to be too exciting, but I'm going to put it on there anyway because I hear people call me traveling notary all the time. So I'm going to put the 0 and 0 in here for traveling notary. Wherever it is. Well, I'm just going to duplicate it in.
Yeah, you could alphabetize your list maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, that would make things so much easier. Traveling notary Phoenix. So I'm just going to put 0 and 0 here. But let's try now Notary Public Phoenix. Hey, that's my company. That's actually, Tyler, that's your work right there. That's the one we shut down. All right, so in Notary Public Phoenix, just says 70 per month at 256. So I'm just going to go through and type in 70, 256. Let's do mobile notary Phoenix.
When doing pay per click, are you not able to set a maximum dollar amount that you want to spend in a month?
Oh, sure. When you get in there, you can set your budgets on everything. This is just kind of giving you an idea of, based on the data they have, how much that's going to cost you per click. And you could say, all right, I'll do $50 a day at that or whatever it is, but that's not necessarily what we're going through and not necessarily what we're going to be learning about in this training, because we're going to focus more on the organic and the local search. So it's not costing us those pay-per-click fees. All right, this one gets $260 a month at $217. So we get 260 of those. It's cool that there's more people that know about the mobile notary than the regular notary. So essentially, yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Try notary near me.
Yeah, let's do that. Notary near me Phoenix. Hey, all right, notary on wheels. Oh, I keep missing it right here. So interestingly enough, it says 0, 0, but we probably know that's not true based on what Tyler has told us. I'm going to put, I gotta figure out a better way to do this list. You can see alphabetizing would be very helpful.
You can alphabetize it by going into the A and going sort.
Oh, a hero. Notary near me. Awesome. All right, so I'm going to put 0, 0 there. Okay, so basically what this would look like, guys, as tedious as it may be, as we actually go through and we're going to do that on basically every single one of these. to get the volume so we can make the best decision as to where to start with our keyword optimization. Or
Can I ask Tyler a question?
absolutely.
Okay, now I know you said we want from our address. I'm in the middle of 4 small cities, and we all, you know, it's all mishmash. So would I want to do this with each of the cities? Because people don't want to drive, and they're going to say, okay, I want to go to Loma Linda, I want to go to Redlands, I want to go here.
What city are you in, Nancy?
I'm near San Bernardino, California.
Okay. I would start with your regular, like the city you're in, and then I would have a locations page that lists all of the locations that you are also in. And then if it is a smaller city, you'll probably show up in those other cities if they're so close to each other. So I would start with the city that you're in. Whatever address you're in, I'd just start there. And since it's smaller, again, you may show up in those other areas as well.
Excellent. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through and do all of that research, and then you're going to rank the most popular. And what I would do, or what I'm planning to do in this, is I'm just going to choose this and then highlight it wherever the highlighter is. That's not it. Just like that. So that's how we're going to rank which words we actually want to carry forward in the additional trainings for the additional work that Tyler has coming up for us. So it might be Mobile Notary Phoenix, whatever it is in your area, because we're going to choose one that is apparently pretty high in volume. And just have, Tyler, now how many would you recommend that we have as just a good starting point for our upcoming work?
I would say we really want to optimize for 2 main keywords to start. So it's going to be pretty similar across the board, honestly, in your industry. So Notary Public, Mobile Notary with your city modifier. So like Notary Public Denver, Notary Public Chicago. In your industry, I think it's going to be pretty similar across the board. But I would start with 2 big ones that you just know everybody is searching for. And then maybe we'll have about 5 to 10 longer keyword phrases like Notary Public Services, Phoenix. But let's start with 2 main keywords, and then we'll have a few longer keywords. All of these other, what I call LSI keywords, we will be using these when we write the content for our website pages as well. So they will be very relevant. We're not necessarily optimizing specifically for them, but we'll be using them when we optimize the web pages.
Yeah, so, and that's what's kind of exciting is what we've done here is we've created a list that's basically going to give us topics when we need to create content for our website. And the content part is really the overwhelming part. You know, people are like, oh my gosh, what do I write in this paragraph? This is going to give us kind of a starting point, and it's going to gives us the keywords to include in that. So it adds more relevance to our website. When Google's trying to match what people are searching for to what they need, our site is going to look like an expert or an authority in the field.
Yeah, and real quick too, it might be a good idea to just write down all of your services. Every single service that you offer, write it down and relate it back to the keywords that you had done, right? So list all of your services based on the keyword research that you had done. If there are any other services that you include that aren't included in this list that you went through, make sure to list those out as well.
That's excellent. And if you ever have a question about how detailed to get into your services, guys, because we're like, oh, well, I'm a notary public and I'm a loan signing agent. But when you think about what we kind of did up above, the specific documents, especially like on the loan signing side, you have buyer documents, you have seller documents, you have deeds of trust, cash closings, things like that you can incorporate that, because technically that's all additional services. on your business, and you can optimize or list those out on your website.
Tyler, I have a question. Let's say we did Notary Public Denver and Notary Public Services Denver. If somebody typed the second longer input, would it only find that if the words services are in our site, or would it also default back and pick up the lesser Notary Public Denver?
That's a good question, Guy. So not necessarily. You don't necessarily have to have services really even on, I shouldn't say this because it's not best practices, but you really don't even need the word services on your website to rank for Notary Public Services Denver. It definitely does help. But remember, all the off-page stuff that we're doing will give you relevance towards that. So if you have a link that's going back to you with the anchor text that says Notary Public Services, you have a little bit of credit for services. Also, if someone gives you a review on your Google listing and it says the word services in it, you get a little bit of credit for that. And Google's pretty smart too. But to directly answer your question, if you optimize for Notary Public Services, you're also kind of by default optimizing for Notary Public, because that is in part of the keyword. That's why when we're starting this off, and we'll go into this in the future, but we like to start with kind of the longer keywords, like you had just mentioned, Notary Public Services Denver, because we will get credit for Notary Public Denver. So once we get those long tail keywords ranking, you're kind of by default gonna rank for those larger keywords like Notary Public. Does that answer your question, Guy?
Yes, it does.
Awesome. All right. That brings us right up to the 10 o'clock hour, or the 10 o'clock Mountain Time hour. I want to respect your time. Tyler, I really appreciate you jumping on and spending as much time as you did with us. Guys, I really appreciate you for joining in, because this is not an easy task to take on. It's not easy to explain. It's not easy to learn. And yet here you are taking it on, because this kind of work will make a difference. It will set you apart from all the other notaries in your area, because look how involved it is. It takes effort to make this thing work. So I honor you for joining us, and thank you for spending your Wednesday morning or almost afternoon growing yourself and your business. Enjoy the rest of your week and have a happy holidays, guys. We are taking next week off from the Now training, just so you know.
Hey,
Yes.
Tyler, real quick, if you saw me frustrated on the video earlier, it was not a frustration of you. What you're saying is 10,000% spot on. My frustration is with Google, because they haven't taken into consideration so many home-based businesses. And this whole address NAP thing makes me crazy. So I just wanted to make sure you knew it wasn't at you, it's at Google that I'm frustrated.
I feel the same frustration towards Google every day, Mary. I get it.
Why I got out of the business. I said I'm done.
All right, awesome. Thanks, guys.
What a great job.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.